Welcome in everyone, welcome. Tonight we're having a watch party and so we're just getting started. Let me put this on for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I don't know how long this video is. Oh, it's a short video. It's only 13 minutes. So we're going to, let me go ahead and get my stream set up. So welcome. So we're live on TikTok right now and so I appreciate you all coming in. The main platform is YouTube. You know, I don't even know what's going to happen with all of these sites. Everything just seems so up in the air right now. I did go ahead and left X today and closed my account after I've been on there for 15 years. Like I've been on X since 2009, something like that. And I was on Twitter. When it became X, it just became a whole other thing. So nonetheless, come on in. Hi, welcome in everyone, welcome. I'm getting ready to, I'm going to get my stream set up. So listen, I haven't watched this video and my energy is real low. I found out some things about somebody who was real close to me that they're not who I thought they were. And this kind of rocked my world today. And I just am still kind of reeling from that. So, hey, Peer Together. So I'm still kind of reeling from that. So just bear with me with my low energy. This is just where it is that I'm at. I am, I'm just coming to terms with, have you ever had a friend, you thought that they were somebody and then you find out some stuff and you're like, no, not you, like et tu Brute? And so this is where I'm at. So welcome, 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 welcome. I appreciate you all being here. I'm your host, Tonya TKO. We're going to go live on all platforms. Right now we're live on TikTok and we are live on YouTube. And then I'm going to get live on Instagram and we're going to get live on a lot of different channels. But I wanted us to be able to come out and talk about this. I don't know who this woman is, but we're going to get live and talk about it together. But yeah, this is, from what it is that I'm hearing, there's some terrible things that happened to her children and that she married a man that she'd known for a week and he's allegedly a high value man. That's all I know. All right. So Penelope said, that's a very devastating feeling, Tonya. I completely understand you. I've been there before. Yeah. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm just being honest with you all. That's why I don't have on not an eyebrow, not an eyeliner, no concealer, nothing. I'm just coming out to do this video to be with you all right now, to just be live in this moment with you all, because I kind of need a shoulder to lean on right now, and I'm happy that we can be here together. From what it is that I'm hearing, this woman didn't know who it is that she was with either. So, you know, it's like you never really know. But we're going to listen to it together and then we're going to have some conversation. And then we're going to go from there. I hope it's nothing too terrible because I don't want to create shorts while I'm looking, you know, not all dolled up because those shorts never look right. People be like, ew. So this is what I'm hearing. So I don't know how true that is, but I'm hearing that she only knew him for a week, and and then she got married. So let's go ahead and just get live on all of the platforms because my energy is real low. So I just really want to get into this. All right, we're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. All right, we're live on Twitch. Now we're going live on Instagram. I got to grab the stream key, copy, paste, save. All right. So I'm trying to press the button to go live, but it's connected here, but not connected here. All right, so it's connecting. My face looks so unmade up on Instagram, but that's just the way my face look. That's just the way it looks. So just get used to it. All right, so we're live on all platforms, right? So let me go ahead and give my intro. I'm your host, Tonya TKO. I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTKO.com. I help you learn how to love yourselves and one another. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I'm a life coach, and I am a graduate student of psychology at an Ivy League institution. And so we're just going to be watching this video. We're having a watch party today. If you're on Instagram, then you're only going to be seeing part of the screen. You can come over to YouTube or Facebook to see the whole screen. Oh, let me just say up front, I did deactivate and migrated. I did the great exodus away from X today. And I encourage you all to be really selective with where you provide your content, because these platforms don't create content. They depend on us for content, and then they monetize it. Like, why is X charging people for verified logos and charging people for all this, that, and the other? It's ridiculous, really, especially when they're able to get advertisers from the content that people are making. So nonetheless, there's 3 rules on this platform. The first rule is every 30 minutes, like someone is talking about the clock, every 30 minutes we get up and we dance. On this channel, we attack the argument, not other people. And we do not use misogynistic slurs against women. And at the end of every broadcast, I ask you for your self-love lesson. So I want you to think about, as you're watching this, what your self-love lesson is from all of this. Okay? So we're going to pull up the video that we're getting ready to watch. This is it right here. You know, I should have deleted my Twitter a long time ago too, but I was like, you know what? Let me stay in touch with the people who are on Twitter. But I realized that all I was doing was just providing content for Musk's platform. And after the election, I'm just really not down with it. I'm not down with being pimped by just, you know, we're in such contentious times right now, and I'm just not in the mood. Like tonight, I'm really kind of subdued. For those of you who got here early, I had gotten some news or information about somebody that I thought one way about. And then from this news and information, I found out that what it is and who it is I thought this person was is really not who I thought this person was. And it's been a blow to me. So I'm a little subdued today. So bear with me, right? I haven't watched this, so I don't know what it's about. So we're going to get into it right now. So if you all are ready, I'm ready. This person's name is Isis. I heard that her name is Trophy Wife. And that what I heard is that she was one of these people supporting a trad wife lifestyle and supporting high value men and leveling up for women. And I also heard that this is part of the reason, because like a lot of people are talking about this. So I'm like, if you haven't heard about it, you're probably going to hear about it online. So then let me go ahead and just have this watch party with you, so I don't have to watch it alone and then come back out and talk about it. We could just watch it one time and then talk about it. Somebody's saying they had to delete Tubi. Tubi is owned by Fox. I never downloaded it because I realized from the situation with the what was the girl's name? Shadiana? What was her name? That was unalived in Mexico by her group of friends. They created some dramatization around it, and it just was really disrespectful to the deceased and her family. And that's when I found out that they were owned by Fox, and I never downloaded them. I never looked at it. I didn't support them. And this is how they do it. Fox, did you know that Fox became popular from playing programs to Black people? So we brought them up. This is what I'm saying. These people love to take our rhythm, and they don't care about our blues. You know what? Before we watch this, I'm going to tell you all something, right? There's 2 videos that I did. Let me go into my account, right? There's 2 videos I did. This video right here, White Man Tells the Truth. Let me open up this video right here. This is oh man. It went by quick. I wanted to pause it as it was coming up. Oh, it's not letting me pause.
But I want to know.
Okay, so this video right here, I want to know why.
How it is you voted for Donald Trump when you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was all based in propaganda and emotion.
I voted for Donald Trump for one reason only. His policies, if implemented, would slow the dispossession of whites in the United States.
Okay, watch that whole video. That video is picking up steam. It has like 200,000 views. Somewhere between 150 and 200,000 views. A lot of people are finding a lot of help and use in that. And then there's another video. Part of the reason that I'm telling you about this is because these videos are a litmus test. Many of us Black people have white friends, especially in America, because they are the majority, right? And this is another video right here. It's called White Women Benefit from Black Women Being Held Down, right? And I need you to take this video and send it to a white friend, right? I'm just going to play the beginning part for you. Listen to this.
What did white women become addicted to?
The Casual Killing Act was written because of the number of people who were killed while being corrected.
We already talked about the Casual Killing Act in the 1600s to protect white women from prosecution from beating Black babies to death.
All right. I need you to go watch that video. The video is only 3 minutes long. But I need you to send that video to your friends, any white friends that you have, as a litmus test. The video before that too, and just listen to how they respond. Because on that video right now, I have a lot of white women calling me racist. Calling me racist for speaking about the truth. And so you never really know who people are in your inner circle, because I had to whittle most of the white women. I never had many white male friends. They transient, come and go. But I had to whittle down most of the white women out of my life when I thought they were somebody, and then they just let me know that even though I was their friend, they thought I was one of the good Blacks, a good Black, well, an exception to the rule, and they harbored really hideous thoughts about Black people on the inside. So I want you to send that video, because if your white friend has anything less than a full-throated denouncement of the behaviors that are shown in that video, this person is not your friend. So I want you to go ahead and do that. That's part of the reason that I left X, that I am not about, putting my content up on these platforms, because they love our rhythm, but they don't care about our blues. And they take from us, they siphon our energy and creativity to build themselves up, and then they turn on us. Look at Dr. Phil. He's the one that needs to be exposed himself. And I watched some of his videos earlier today, and we should probably do a watch party on that tomorrow. But yeah, so we're going to jump into this video right here.
Hi, trophies. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If you hear any noise in the background, that's the new baby. A lot has happened since the last time that I
She's
recorded.
so cute.
I think the last time you guys saw me, I was in my second trimester. And yeah, I think I did post an update in the community section when the baby was born. And I said that I would be back soon. And that was a few months ago now. I thought that when I came back on here that it would be to maybe do like some kind of newborn favorites or meet my new baby or something like that, but unfortunately, it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband.
Ooh.
I honestly don't even really know where to start
Uh-oh.
with this, just because it's just such a hard topic.
Oh, no.
And I honestly thought that by the time I got on here that I wouldn't have any tears left because I've just cried so much.
Uh-oh.
It's like I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and
Uh-oh.
trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provider men and all these different things. And I truly held my husband, or saw him, as the bar
Uh-oh.
for what every woman should, you know, type of man that, or type of husband that every woman should aspire to have.
Uh-oh.
And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare.
Oh, shoot.
So basically, when I first met my husband, as I've already talked about in another video, I think it was my single mom video, I explained, you know, a little bit about how we met. And I really thought that that man was my Prince Charming. So when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and you know, he portrayed himself to be this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man.
Uh-oh.
And I believed him. I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him. And I just started to see a few things that I didn't like, but I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
Guess it depends on what it is. Uh-oh.
It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things.
What were the things, dear?
I don't even know where to start.
Okay. Well, you can start anywhere.
6 weeks ago,
Okay.
I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh God.
I wish I didn't put on eyeliner now because I feel like I'm about to start crying.
So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house.
Damn
Because I
right, what the
knew if
fuck?
I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie and that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my two older boys from school.
Boys, oh my, how many children does she
As
have?
soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister,
Okay, okay.
because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters.
How many daughters does she have?
It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old.
This mother...
It still feels like a dream. Like, when this first happened,
I saw somebody ask across the screen, why do people get married within a week? Because they feel like it, because they're grown, because nobody expects for someone to be this insane, because there's something that exists within that union that is making a person feel like this is a storybook fantasy, apparently. So there are plenty of people who got married. Listen, Put up your hand if you ever went on a first date and that date lasted 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, I've had it. I hung out with a person. I went to go hang out with a person, and 2 weeks later, so I was there and had to buy new clothes and all of that while I was there. I mean, we weren't intimate. It was just a nice person to hang around, to talk to all of that. This was in my younger days. However, people do different things. You never expect something like this. I don't know why we're asking this question as if this is normal. This is not a normal thing for a person to do to children. This person is a predator of the worst kind. Anybody who hurts children, I don't think deserves to be on this earth. I think that they need to not be on this earth. So I mean, exactly. We've all had situations in which we meet a person and there's just something magnetic about the union, about the conversations, and it just lasts all night till the next day, and then you just vibe with one another morning till night, and it's a good time. It's a good vibe, right? So Get Going says, I had a first date that turned into 4 years of marriage. This is what I'm saying. So it's like, let's stop acting like this doesn't happen. Listen, when your person comes into your life, you feel it, they feel it, and you two are inseparable. Look, you know what? Listen, you all know I'm not even going to say nothing about myself. These things, they happen. It has happened to me. I meet a person and it just feels right. I don't know how old this young lady is, what her intuition is like. I don't know. We are all human beings navigating through this life. And in the same way that you ask who marries a person after 1 week, that's because you beat yourself up. If you're talking like this in public, I can only imagine what your negative self-talk looks like behind the scenes, for real, because you're not treating her in any other way other than how you treat yourself. Like, you can tell empathetic people who forgive themselves, who allow themselves grace, they allow other people grace. You doing this to us because that's how you do it to yourself. I got married within a month. Exactly. First date turned into 22 years. We're still going. It happened to me. Stop shaming and blaming. This is what I'm saying. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. You know what? Listen, I'm just gonna be honest. So, because I said I was gonna just turn away from it. I went on a yoga retreat, and I met a person at this yoga retreat, and I was just, it was nice communicating with the person. We went on long walks, and it was just interesting. I left to go to the next leg of my healing journey, and my spirit, my spirit said, reach out to this person. I said, no, that was the last leg of the trip. My spirit said, reach out to this person. I said, no. My spirit said, you will not have rest until you reach out to this person. And I reached out to the person, and it was beautiful. It didn't go the full distance. However, well, what is the full distance? It didn't lead to marriage, but a relationship can be successful without going to that milestone. I changed as a human being as a result of interacting with this human. It changed me. I listened to my intuition. My gut said, go forth. I did not know this person. My gut said, do it. I said, are you sure? My gut said, you will not have rest. You will not sleep. I will make sure that you are thinking of this person until you heed my call. My life changed because of this person. And so it happens. And every relationship, like even this situation that she's in, it is horrific, but we have to respect the journey of the soul. Like we are here and we elect to choose our family, our soul family, before we even come into these lives, I believe. I believe. And this is this woman's journey, and she will go forward from here in a good way or bad. Listen, I mean, so listen, even if it was quote unquote bad, everything is always working out for the good. Like I'm happy that I came across this human. I'm happy that I opened myself. You know, we spend so much time beating ourselves up for the yeses, the things that we say yes to, that we don't realize that our lives are made up of the yeses. Like that's the fabric of our life, the things we say yes to. Like there's so many things that we say no to, but when you feel it in your spirit to say yes, there is something coming for you. And that thing is helping you get to be the person that you chose to be before you even incarnated. So, and let me just say this, I'm having a one-day retreat in New York on December 14th. The link is in the description of this video. If you're interested, if it resonates with you, come through. There's one ticket left. I will announce the last ticket tomorrow, but if there's somebody who feels called tonight, there's one ticket left. All right, let's continue forward. Wait a minute, what? We're going to look for the follow-ups to this. So,
Just kept waking up every day and just hoping that this was a dream.
oh,
Because it's literally my worst nightmare. It's my worst nightmare. I myself am a product of RAPE. That's how I came to be.
you see this?
And
You see this?
was also, abused as a child by a neighbor's husband.
Okay. So,
And
so remember when I said that my spirit told me that I would not rest until I reached out to this person? There's sometimes things that we experience in our lives that go unhealed, and we will not rest until they are healed. Life will bring situations into our lives that will make sure that they come to the forefront for healing.
I specifically prayed to God that my children would never, ever, ever have to go through this. And I'm just not quite sure how.
Somebody said the children's lives are wrecked now. No, there's life after this. There's healing after this. They can heal. It's going to take effort, but they can heal.
This happened, why this happened. I just don't know how he was able to get away with it and so sneaky, because with my own trauma, I watch my kids like a hawk. Like, I don't like them sitting on people's laps. None of that. And he knows how much I cannot stand men like him. And to think like I couldn't even go to sleep in my own house and know that my children are safe. Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected. Um, so I don't know what the future of this channel is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to change the name or what. Um, yeah.
Okay, so people are saying that there is a follow-up to this. Let us see. Okay, let's see. That's all I'm seeing. This is the latest video. It was put up 3 days ago. I'm just finding out about it right now. Let me click on lives. 7 months ago, 8 months ago. Dating advice. So she was giving dating advice based on her life experiences. So she really was in the trenches of this. 8 months ago, the two sides of him. It's time to walk away. Does anybody know where the follow-up is? Is there a follow-up? It's giving foolishness. 98.39% of women are in imaginary relationships. Let me see what she's saying here because
Hey trophies, go trophies. Hey trophies, go trophies.
let me see how long ago
Welcome
this
back,
was. 1 year
ladies.
ago.
We are back with a bob.
Uh-oh. Here she got a little picture on the nightstand. So let's take a look at let's blow this up. And let's take a look at this picture on the nightstand. So people are saying that it's a black man 20 years older than her.
Today, what we're going to be talking about is imaginary relationships. So, this is an important topic because about 97.3% of women who are in relationships are in imaginary relationships. And what I mean by imaginary relationships is you are either in a situationship with a man, which means he is getting all the benefits of a husband without a ring, or the other ladies are being a girlfriend and also giving husband benefits to a man who has not properly claimed you. And
What does any of this mean? Marriage is not a flex. It's a piece of paper that two people get when they go to the courthouse and sign the documents. People make up marriages, and unfortunately, there are far too many people who are so interested in creating relationship content that they jump into relationships willy-nilly and then start just giving advice out about what
this
they
is one
think
of the
they
biggest
know.
lies that have ever been sold to women is being a girlfriend. And
See what I'm saying? So she didn't want to be a girlfriend. I'm hearing she met him and got married a week later. Somebody said he's the deacon of the church.
there's nothing wrong with a man asking you to be his girlfriend, but there is a lot wrong with you accepting the position of being his girlfriend. And just because a man asks you to be his girlfriend doesn't mean that, he's low value or there's something wrong with him. This is a natural thing that men will do, is try to get more for less and they will try to take you off the market and stop you from being pursued by other men so that one, they can get that, and
Is he really interested in that? Or is he interested in that? Come on. You know, some of us, who have, you have children, you're inviting these people into your life and they rushing to get into your household. And you gotta be like, whoa, Kimosabi, slow down. Some of these people are targeting women with children and marrying you. They know how many of us are so desperate for marriage. Marrying you is an easy way to get under the household with you and your children. And then, like she said, she couldn't even go to sleep at night because this man was going in there assaulting her poor, sweet babies while she's sitting up here on the internet talking about how men want your box. No, they want the little matchbox. No, they're out here on full predator mode. Come on. Exactly. This is terrible. And this is just, it's grotesque, it's disgusting. And this is the, so this is, so these are, so her videos, 22,000 views, 12,000 views. This one got 876,000 views. How to receive princess treatment, make him want to spoil you. Yeah, okay. He's spoiling you because there's a secret he's harboring deep down underneath.
hey, trophies. Hey, trophies. Go, trophies. Hey, trophies. Go,
So
trophies.
she's doing all of this. Meanwhile, she said that there were warning signs behind the scenes, that red flags she ignored. And so this is what I'm saying. I don't care what people are saying in front of the camera. He forced himself on her 5 days into dating. Where did she say this? What video did she say this in? I would like to play this video. My website is tonyatko.com. Click on contact, or you could just do tonyatko.com/contact and send me the link so that we can watch that while we're on live right now.
I am so excited that we are back today, ladies. I know I was gone for a minute, but I am back. Ladies, you guys have to bear with me because I am a mom of 4. It is back to school time, so we've been having to handle school shopping, health records, all of the fun stuff that comes along with back to school. So I just need you ladies to give me a pass, okay? So today what we're going to be talking about is princess treatment. So this is a topic that I've been seeing go around the internet a lot.
This is sad.
And something I want to speak on because the way that you carry yourself and what you accept as a woman is going to have a significant impact on the men and whether they deem you worthy of princess treatment. So the first thing is going to be, you can't have high standards for a man if you don't first have high standards for yourself.
And so, all of this is BS. All of this is BS. People are saying it's at the beginning of the video that I played. I didn't hear that at the beginning. Maybe she chopped it out because we played this video from the beginning. Let's go. Because I played this with you all. I played it.
Hi, ladies.
Where did she
Hi,
say
trophies.
She doesn't say it in this video.
Welcome back to my channel.
She might have cut it out, but it's not in
if you're
here.
new here.
Look. Where is it? Give me the minute.
If you hear any noise in the background,
See, this is the same video we just watched.
new
It's not in
baby.
this video. So it's on the first video. It's on the first video. He wrote it on the video. Where is it? It was a text. Where is this text? You see, you all are telling me that something is somewhere that it's not. It's not here. So I have the transcript here on the side of the video, right? I have an AI app that is going to show the transcript. We could search inside the transcript for the word force, Control F, Force. There is no word force in this entire video. She typed it in white writing in the video. I didn't see all of that. Where did she type it at? All right, let's make it, because I was looking at this too, but then I was also putting on some eyeliner. So let's put the playback speed at 2, and then let's just forward through. Come on.
A lot has happened since the last time that I recorded. I think the last time you guys saw me, I was in my second trimester, and yeah, I think I did post an update in the community section when the baby was born. And I said that I would be back soon. That was a few months ago
5:26,
now.
somebody says. Okay, let's go to 5:26. All right, so here's 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh, look at this. She wrote it real small on the screen. Look. He RAPE'd me 4 times in the first few months of our marriage. But the thing about it is, when you build your brand and your identity around staying in a situation, and there's so many people out there who are trying to force women to stay in situations and in relationships. Someone is telling me to apologize. No, you know what? Here, you want me to show you where this apology is? I'll show you where the apology is, right? Because you would sooner, let me see if I could find where this apology is, because I got a video that'll show you where this apology is, because where is it? Where is it? How many of you know this sound? If you know that sound, go ahead and put up a 1, because I have a video that talks about where your apology is and where you can get it from. Let me see. I'm looking to see if it's here. I don't have it here. Let's see. I don't have it here. But that's where you could get your apology. You could go taste the rainbow, because I could show you where the rainbow is, and you could go suck the apology out of there, because I don't have no apology for you. We all make mistakes. I did not see it. We were watching the video, but we had it zoomed in. So taste the rainbow. That's your apology right there. Go taste that rainbow. So nonetheless, yeah, she was so vested in staying, because it would be embarrassing to have to leave a relationship after 4 months, and then people be like, I told you so, and then you went and put on this beautiful dress, and now you have all this content built around this. But she said it was the first 4 months, so this was before the content. So goodness knows what took place before that. This is terrible. This is real terrible. I don't even know what to say about this. Let me tell you, I will tell you this, right? I will tell you this, that you have to build yourself up from who it is that you are on the inside, regardless of who you're attached to, aligned with, or married in a marriage with. You have to have that core foundation of yourself. Yeah, exactly. Women need to let go of validation, right? Because, yeah, Joe the Donna says, as a man, I'd crash out. Yeah, of course. Somebody hurt your child like that. And the crazy part about it is that the way that we are socialized as girls, you know, to keep forgiving, oh, he didn't know, he was caught up in the oh, he did. No, 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 no. So here, somebody is, look, that's how it goes. That's the way it goes. So people out here playing in these streets, and it is time for us to do our dance break. I'm really not in the mood to dance, but I just want you to get up and just get up and move. Just get up and move. Is we have to take care of ourselves. Part of loving ourselves is making sure that we continue to move.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time.
All right.
Oh, oh, oh. And I'm singing like, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Lit check, been a minute, let me hit the homies in a group text. 10 years, same team. True vest. Got a couple trophies, but no chains on the neck. No. Got a couple Cardis, we don't flood with baguettes. It's a very small world, so my hand holds. Wake up, make the money, that's a man's role. Loyalty and love is what I stand for. Can't forget about trust, but first, please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa, oh, oh, oh. It's the weekend, we've been working. I'll be posted, fireside. Bring my boys in, bring your girls in. We'll be posted up all night. Limited edition, not the regular one. We shut down the city like when presidents come. I am not a rookie, I'm a veteran, bruh. Promise I'ma take it easy later on. Whoa, oh, oh, oh.
We got like 40 more seconds.
Oh, oh, oh. Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa, oh, SOS, oh. Please fill my cup.
All right. Yeah. We did that. We did that. Okay. That wasn't so bad, was it? That wasn't so bad. Somebody talking about, hey, get it, Ma. You're supposed to be getting your own. This is why we do it, so that we can stay active. And I do feel a little bit better than I did in the beginning of the video. And so should you. Somebody sent in an apple. Let me read these real quick. So Brandy sends in $5. And there's no note with it. Thank you, Brandy. Let me... Oh, trying to like it. Uche sends in $5 and says, that monster traumatized his own babies. Sick. Yeah, like, I don't understand what type of human this is. Like, these people, they got demons. They sick. They weird. Like, it's, ugh. Yeah. It's like... Something is not... If anybody ever wants to know a song that's on the platform, just Shazam it. All right, so that's pretty much the whole entire video right there. We did a watch party. The video was shorter than I expected it to be. Is there anything else that's relevant that that I need to look into? So Kiki is saying, I'm so confused about why she stayed after being R-worded. Well, we could pontificate. There are plenty of reasons, and I spoke about some of them. You got married in front of all of these people. Goodness knows what he said was the reason that he did that. Maybe he, because you know, people think that R is all violent and everything. R can be very passive. They just hold you down and take it. And then they can be like, oh, you know, I was just so caught up in the moment because you're just so sexy and so this. You married to them now at this point, right? So it's not like, it doesn't happen like it does in the movie. That's sensationalized. And our country doesn't care about correcting that false imagery, because most R words are by someone you know and they're not violent. You know what I'm saying? So she just got married. She probably didn't want to go and get divorced, like how people laugh. Like people, I remember I did a video and people were talking about how Taylor Swift changes men like she changes underwear and mocking Taylor Swift for that. People talked about Lori Harvey. Remember that? Lori Harvey dated Diddy and she got the hell out of Dodge. And now everybody is seeing, oh, Diddy was the diddler. And they were blaming Lori Harvey for jumping from one man to the next. So what would have happened after she got married? And then now there's some things happening behind the scenes. And now she got to get out of this marriage after 4 months. And Lori Harvey dated Diddy longer than that. And people still came down on her for leaving the relationship. So you can't win for losing. You leave, people say, oh, why are you going from one man to the next man? You stay, then people say, why did you stay? She stayed because there was something that is going on inside of her psychologically, societally, familially, that made her stay. That's why she stayed. Like, I wish that we had enough empathy to try to put ourselves in other people's shoes, even if it's not something that you would effing do. Because you know what? Like this is really annoying. It's annoying because I guarantee you, the person who said, why did she stay, called me up on the phone. I'll open up the phone line. And I bet you that I can find a situation in your life that you endured that somebody else would not. Because we get our programming when we're young and when we're little, and then we act out these scenarios over and over and over again. So while you're sitting there saying, why did she stay for that? I could look at your life and say, why did you stay for XYZ? It is impossible to live a life without mistakes. It is impossible. So while you sit there with your mistakes, that's why she didn't leave. Dynasty, call me on the phone. Call me. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. Dynasty, I want you to call. I'm going to open the phone lines. Here we go. Phone lines are open. 323-488-3149. Dynasty, call me. Let's examine your life. Let's examine some of the choices that you made, even if something happened 4 times, whatever, however many times. Let's examine it. Call me. The phone lines are open. I'm waiting for you to call in. Because people love to sit back and look at other people's lives and ask, why did they make a certain decision? The same reason why you made certain decisions in your life is because of the programming. It's because we are all acting from a place on the inside. And if there's brokenness, this girl says she came into this world as a product of rape. Not only that, she was raped as a child. And then now she's in this situation with a man that she married, whom she trusts, and now he's raped her. Why did she stay? This girl is conditioned to abuse. She's conditioned to it. So come on, Dynasty, I'm waiting for you to call me. I'm waiting. Because it's real easy to sit up here and watch somebody else tell their story while you keep yours close to the breast. Let's hear your story so that we can question why you did certain things. Call me on the phone. Anybody, perfect. Why is this coming through here? All right. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, Tonya. This is Jessica calling from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hi. I was waiting for Dynasty.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it's okay. We got you on the line because I don't think Dynasty. Oh, there's another call calling in. Let me see if this is Dynasty, okay?
Okay.
And then you could call me back after. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi. My name is Melissa,
and I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
Hi, we were waiting for Dynasty. I thought she was going to call in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you ready to talk? Are you one of the people who's criticizing why she stayed?
Well, yeah, I'm ready to talk, but if you'd like to have
No,
Dynasty
listen,
on
well,
for a
since
second.
we don't have Dynasty on the line and we have you, let's go through your life. Are you married?
Um, no, I mean, I'm not necessarily combative towards the young woman, but I do think that she should definitely use this as a lesson to just be super careful in the future. And unfortunately, I don't know what led her to stay. Only she knows that. But just hopefully in the future, she can see that, it doesn't even have to be as severe as what she went through with this particular man. It could be a guy
Right.
standing you up on a date or,
Thank you, thank you, thank
whatever.
you, thank you.
Any kind
Okay,
of little
so let me ask
disrespect.
you a question. Name one of the mistakes that you've
Yeah.
made in your life in dating.
Um, well, let me just say this. I was that 4-year-old girl. So something that I think might be a mistake is I tend to run when I feel that a mistake is being made by the other party when I'm in a relationship, when I'm
I
dating
wanna
a
I
guy and
wanna
I'm
hear about a
straight.
mistake that you've
So
made and you looked back at yourself and say, why did I do that? What is a mistake that you've made in dating?
that's definitely the mistake, is that I didn't give people a chance to be human and make mistakes. I perceive the mistake that they make as a threat. And so I want to just kind of bolt and get out the door as quickly as possible when I see that. And, I could definitely show myself and others more grace. I'm not upset at the young lady. So if you just wanted like critics of her to call
Okay,
in,
yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'm not the best. But I just wanted to say that I was that 4-year-old girl, and someone had said like her life is ruined, and I believe what you said. Like, no, her life is not ruined at 4. She can heal, and her family can heal, and we should hope for that little girl. But definitely building your identity around a man, not
Okay, well, thank you
probably
so much for calling and we're gonna
the
grab
best.
the next one. Thank you. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
I could definitely.
Hi, do I hold on?
No, you're on the air live right now.
Oh, mercy. Oh, Tanya, this is you? Tanya?
You're on the air live right now. What's your
Oh,
name
yes.
and where you calling
Hi.
from?
Hi, everyone. I'm Mandy. I'm a native New Yorker, but calling from down south here. I
Okay,
wanted
Mandy,
to,
welcome,
huh?
welcome, welcome on the air.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Blessings to you. My heart goes out, of course, to the kids because they're innocent. They just got to the planet not that long ago, and they don't understand adults. They don't know what this is because I was young. My mom went to work. I'm not defending ISIS, the young lady from the Level Up channel, trophy wife, but I think when you marry a man, I guess you assume that they're sane. I don't know. So my mom, in my instance, when I was young, my mom went to work, and I'm under 10 years old, and she worked at the overnight shift. So this is at night. And I don't know if anyone knows if Trophy Wife went to a job. Did she like exit the house to go to work when he had this? This is a
No, she
stepfather
was
in my case.
sleeping. She was sleeping. This was
Oh my
happening
God, she's
in the
still
house while she
in the
was
house.
there.
Oh God. Oh my. Alrighty then. The whole thing is absolutely horrific that little minors will be exposed to something like this because they're not even old enough to legally buy liquor. They're not even old enough to get a driver's license. So it's very confusing what's going on. And then a grown man, if he's tall, or even if he's not tall, looks like it's a mountain, the height of a mountain coming at you in that way.
I mean,
I don't know. My
this
heart
is
goes
their
out to
dad
her,
though.
the whole
So,
family,
yeah.
everyone who's been through this.
All right. Well, thank
Yeah,
you
it's
so much for calling in, Mandy.
thanks for accepting the call. Bye bye.
All right. All right. So phone lines are open. 323-488-3149. The young lady who called in at first, you can call back. You're on your live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Tonya, it's Jessica from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay, hey Jessica. So talk to us.
Okay, so I'll be quick. I have two thoughts, right? My initial thought, of course, is empathy for the situation. That's terrible. It's happened to children. However, I did see some, not even a however, period. The other thought, though, is I did see some of her other videos, and she was arrogant. She, she looked down on the women. In one video, she was like, oh, and if you got a problem, I'll still be wearing my Chanel and driving my Porsche. So my issue with her is just that she was selling an image while being deceptive. But that's completely separate from what her husband did to their children. That's inexcusable, and she is not to blame for that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your thoughts and point of view. Have a great night.
You too.
You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from? Oh, the call dropped. So I want us all to understand that we all start out in this world as children. How do we get to where it is that we end up as adults? What happens to us along the way? You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Koja. How you doing, Tonya?
Hey, Koja. How are you?
I'm good. I came on the scene a long time ago, and this actually was my ministry. This is so common. This lady, if she's a trad wife, she can't even probably move 30, 50 miles away. And the reality is, if she don't have proof, they're going to take those kids from her and give them to him. So many people are unaware, and I just tell people, Google Linda Marie Stacks. She was a trad wife before it was a thing, a stay-at-home mom. The private Catholic school notified her. She never had time alone with her children after that. She only got supervised visitation twice a month, I think. They're grown now. But this is a thing that people need to be aware of. And people think I'm crazy when I say this because that was my ministry when I came here to say it. So I say it all the time. This is not new. And for the preferences and women, know your history, know what this is. It's a lot. So I just think we need to educate ourselves. And that's all I came to say, Tonya.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for calling in. All right, so I will say this, that unfortunately the data shows that if a woman does accuse her partner of SAing the children or even ABUSE, that she has a larger likelihood of losing the children to him, because the courts favor men. Any man out there who is telling you that the courts favor women, they're telling you that because they benefit from telling you that lie. Go look up the data. The woman who just called in is absolutely right. And even if the man is essaying the children, you do better not to say that than if you do. So you have a greater likelihood of losing your children if you say that, because then they look at you with suspicion. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, good evening, Tonya. This is Rose from Bronx, New York.
Hey, Rose. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So what's your comment this evening?
So I just wanted to say that I empathize with the girl because as she stated that she had this happen to her in her childhood. Until you've lived through that, you really don't understand, especially when it's passed down through generations. Like in my family, this also happened with my grandmother and my mother, where she was touched on as a little girl for years. And then through that trauma led for my mom to become a drug addict and not raise me. And my grandmother raised me. But then she also prepared me to be abused. And I, in turn, got abused. The only thing I can say is that I think my kids were in touch, but I understand with the marital rape because I experienced that, and it's not violent. Sometimes it's just that you don't want to be arguing.
Hold on, bear with me for just a moment. Bear with me for just a moment. Let me just explain something to you out there. You don't have to wait for the admin to ban you. I can do that too, right here, live on the air, and throw a block party in your favor. FAFO in my comments if you choose to. See if I'm playing with you. We're having a very serious discussion tonight. Play if you want to. All right. Go ahead, Rose.
Yeah, where it's the threat of not wanting to argue. In my situation, knowing where that argument could lead to all night, might wake up my kids. Maybe, you know, he might end up putting his hands on me. And for the time being, we don't know what other steps he took to isolate her. I was very isolated. And at that moment, you just give in to just kind of disassociate and just try to figure out a plan later on. It just so happened that her rock bottom was that where she found out that unfortunately that happened, because us as women, sometimes we feel like, you know, I can take this load, I can take it up to whatever point, I'll do whatever it is to make this work because my kids need a father, but we never imagined that their father would do those things. So, you know, women need to have more empathy.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what the crazy part about it is? The crazy part about it is that defensiveness comes from a place of insecurity. So the people who are like, she was arrogant, she was most likely insecure. I can guarantee you that her husband wasn't the first person to R-word her after her childhood R-word. I'm sure she was R-worded in college. I'm sure she was R-worded in dating. I'm sure she'd been R-worded before her husband. And then when her husband came along, it was probably just par for the course. These things happen in patterns. Rose, thank you so much. Big hugs to you. And like you said,
I just wanted to say one thing. I'm so sorry. It came to mind that she also, her husband was 20 years older, and I feel like that's a big thing with us because my husband was also 13 years older. Thank you so much, Tonya.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You see, and so I do videos about these men targeting young women and girls. And they start trying to tell me that a teenager got a fully grown mind that could deal with a fully grown adult. Just look at some of my videos on Facebook. I'm not even joking. I wish I was. The comments. One guy wrote, if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. These are the people who are writing this stuff. And if you think that they're joking, well, FAFO. FAFO. So phone lines are still open, 323-488-3149. I missed some of the phone calls. You can try back in again now. The thing about it is that I wish that we could have empathy for people to realize that even if we have a different standard, that we can have empathy for a person who has traversed a different life. For me, I liked unavailable men who were workaholics. Why? There was some sort of programming that made the behaviors seem normal. Maybe there's some programming that happens to a person who is touched inappropriately, that those behaviors become normalized. A person pushing up on you early, a person love bombing you. Maybe these behaviors are normalized and then they're like, oh, this just feels normal. Maybe your boundaries are so weak. I just wish that we could have empathy for other people who do things differently than we do.
Hello?
You're on Air Live with Tonya TKO. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, Tonya. I'm Jasmine calling from Tampa.
Okay. Hey, Jasmine. So talk to us.
Yes. So I was listening up until you called me. So my opinions have changed. I was more of the mind that because I watched her content after seeing that video, and I was appalled because I found it interesting that, you know, after being abused by her husband, she continued to promote this content that this is what you need to do to find a high value man. I have me a high value man, so this is what you need to do. But after hearing you talk about the insecurities, I have more empathy regarding that aspect. But it just made me think initially, like, why would you promote content like that and you're being harmed? Like, even before your daughters were harmed, you were harmed, but you still promoted this content.
Well, let's pontificate with you. Let's let's push these ideas around in our mind. What do you think would need to exist inside of a person for them to be experiencing something and then say something different publicly? What do you think they're dealing with on the inside?
I mean, they're clearly dealing with some sort of cognitive dissonance.
Okay, that could be
And
one thing. Could give me some other reasons why this may happen.
self-hate.
Okay, there's another
Or
one. What else? Give me just one more.
a feeling of needing to feel like you're better than somebody or something like
Okay,
that.
okay. So what type of person would traverse through life feeling like they need to feel as if they're better than somebody? Do you think that person feels that they're better than somebody else?
No, they don't.
Okay. So they feel lesser than, or they could feel lesser than on the inside. And they so hate themselves that they need to pretend that whatever is happening behind the scenes, they're putting on a front. You know what I want you to do? Try this real quick, right? I want you to right now here on the phone tell me a complete lie about how you're living, okay? Just tell me 2 sentences, a complete lie, fabricated right now for me, okay? Role play, go ahead. You're up.
I mean, I don't know because I don't really do that.
I
But
want you
I
to do
guess
this right now on the phone, please.
okay. I guess I'll say I live in New York and in a high-rise apartment or something like that.
Go ahead. I want to hear you say 2 sentences lying about the life that you're
That was
living.
it.
That's just one. I live in New York in a high-rise
Okay.
apartment. That's one sentence.
And I make $1 million a year.
How does that feel to you on the inside to tell those lies with all these people looking at you?
I mean, it doesn't feel good
Exactly.
because it's not true.
Exactly. So what type of human being says something publicly that they know in their heart is a lie? This is a person, even you just saying those 2 sentences. This woman had an entire channel that was living predicated on some fantasy. How do you think she felt about herself? And do you think anybody, unless that person is psychotic, and we see that she has empathy for her children, so we know that she's not a psycho, a person who doesn't love
Yeah.
themselves, a person who is not in alignment with who it is that they truly are. And with every lie that they tell publicly, they hate themselves more and more. Because at any moment, imagine what it took for her to come out and say, I perpetrated this fraud, and this man who I made all this content about
That's
was
a good
hurting
point.
my
That's a really
child.
good point. Yeah, that's a very strong point, and that's where you were saying earlier about the empathy piece, I really was like, okay, my perspective shifted because for her to then take accountability in that way, I do think speaks to the fact that it probably was really hard for her to tell those lies. But then it makes me think about like a lot of social media and a lot
Mm.
of like celebrity content about how a lot of people portray these things that may not be true. And I wonder, do they feel a way about it, or is it just,
Let me
because
just tell you this, right? A
mhm,
lot of the people who you are watching online, every single thing that they say to you, just cross it out and turn it upside down. Just cross it out and turn it upside down. There are a lot of people who are continuing to say things publicly because they want them to be true, because they wish that that is how they were truly living, that they are living their best lie. And I've met enough people behind the scenes that I can almost bank that whatever it is that I'm hearing, just be very, very scrupulous of it. Don't take anything that anybody says as fact. This world of content creating is made up of people who need to be able to make money without credentials. This world of content creating is made up of people who have felonies, and this is the only job they can get. We got a lot of people who are pandering, a lot of people who are lying, a lot of people who are saying whatever it is that they need to say in order to be able to get that dollar. They're prostituting themselves and their fake ass stories for likes and views. How many more of these people do we need to see exposed for us to know that this is a damn lie? This is why when I see these people and they doing their little couples dance and their little couples TikToks, I just click on right on by it.
Right? Mm-hmm.
These people who are putting up perfect little pictures of their coiffed little children behaving so nicely, all of this is a damn fantasy. We see it time and time again. And now these parents from the early days of YouTube are now being sued because all of those children from the year 2000 are now 24. Listen, am I lying? Now they suing them. So listen, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Tonya. Thank you. Like, I really appreciate your time always.
All right. So what type of person centers men in their whole platform? Now, one of the things that we have to understand is that these men are out here telling you lies so that you could be in some damn gladiator fight with other women for their approval, as if their approval is shit. Oops! Listen, I keep telling you all, be on your best behavior today because Mama Tonya is not playing. So we have, it seems like, I don't know if the real Sinji is in the house, but girl, the phone line is open. Call on in. It's been too long. It's been too long. And I'm sure people would want to know what it is that you're going through. And I heard you're still making content behind the scenes, and I hope that that is good and that things are going well behind there. I'm going to take the next caller.
Hello, please state your name.
All right. So this is what I'm saying. Sooner or later, people get exposed. There was a person that I exposed a year or so ago. People are still continuing to allow this person to blow smoke up their behind. What can I say? I did my part, but the thing about it is that people don't want to believe. There's so much information out here, and I realized from dealing with this person that had obvious mental health issues that people just really don't know. They hear two different stories and they don't know who to believe. But I'm going to tell you something right here. If you come across a person who is always the victim, perpetually, always, and they're always talking about what other people are doing to them, that's the one right there. Pay attention. Pay attention. Because they know how to get you to feel so sorry for them. I realized this when I dated a guy 10 years ago now. Oh, this guy, let me tell you, he hated himself. He said when he was little, they used to call him 1201 Midnight because he was so dark. But me, I loved his skin. The first time he took off his shirt, oh my gosh. I wanted to worship at the altar of obsidian. Girl, when that dark chocolate skin, whoo. But this man hated himself, and he had a baby mama who he said was doing all these things to him, right? And then he told me this story because you see people slip up. He told me in this story that his baby mama ate the food, that he ate her yogurt in the fridge, and she took a knife and threw it at him, and it hit right in the door frame, and he punched her right in her face. This is what he told me. My stomach dropped. I said, what? Because I'm thinking, N-word, you right there by the door. You came back in to punch her in the face? If it hit you, if it hit the door frame, keep on going out the damn door. But this man, oh, then I learned this person was doing him wrong and his job was doing him dirty and this had happened to him and everybody. Meanwhile, I had did some backdoor investigations, and I got in touch with this baby mama. And the story she told me, oh honey, the story she told me about abuse, about all different types of stuff. Now, I didn't know who was lying or telling the truth, but I knew that I didn't need that goddamn drama in my life. I left them both alone. Get the F out of my life. I don't need this. Get out of here with that. I don't know who, what was the truth. All I know is that he chose her and he claims she was violent. She claims he was violent. I don't know who was telling the truth. All I know is that those were two peas in a pod and I was Bennett and I ain't in it. That's all I knew. I wasn't, because the next thing you know, he gonna be trying to punch me up. And then he's going to be telling somebody else's story. So no, I wasn't going to wait around for him to come up with some story for why he started punching on me. So no, no, no. But you see, my programming is different. I happen to have an aversion to violence from my early childhood programming. I did not like it then. I don't effing like it now. I never became used to it. I don't like it. However, my thing was these unavailable men. They just seemed so tasty and so juicy, so slippery. Couldn't hold on to them. Just made me want them more. Just like that greyhound running, no, the rabbit running on the track with the greyhound. That was my thing. You could try to make fun of me if you want to, but that is where that was my programming. My programming was never violence. It was never that. And so this is what I'm saying. So while I'm living my life in this pattern, you're living your life in your own pattern. So that's why when we look at this person and we're like, how could you do X, Y, Z? I mean, she's living a different life than you. She has different programming than you, right? This is just the basic fact of the matter. Phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. It's almost time for us to get up and dance again. So I'm going to wait for the next call to come in. And the thing is that you have to be honest with yourself, because a lot of you out there are lying to yourself just like she was lying. Every single person who is sitting up here being harsh and critical to this woman, you are effing lying to yourself in the same way that she was lying, because you're not admitting the truth of how it is that you live in your life and the mistakes you've made. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, I'm Melissa from DC. I called in earlier and I saw that you had said I could call back.
Yeah. What's up, mama?
So I wanted to know, do you think this is not blaming any members of Trophy Wife's family? I actually used to watch her content, by the way. So, but I was wondering, do you think that, okay, let me say my perspective first. So being in D.C., a dark-skinned Black American woman, I feel in my experience that the Black men in this area, that's all I can talk about, they're more comfortable showing their ASS to women that they're not attracted to or that they feel are less attractive. You know what I mean? So, it's almost like they'll let their dirty laundry kind of air, almost with an air of arrogance when they do it, because they don't care what someone like me thinks. But they'll turn on Rico Suave when it's a woman that they feel is their preference, you know? So I was wondering, do you think that any part of, maybe not this situation, but situations like it, where it seems like the woman in the situation has been hoodwinked, do you think it has to do with that preferential treatment? The fact of it being it's all a show, because who the guy really is as disrespectful as he treats the women that he claims he doesn't prefer?
Exactly. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's a really good point. Because there's some people that think some folks get better treatment. A person is who it is that they are. They are who they are. And they may not care what it is that you think about them, and they can put up a facade, but for only so long. before the mask begins to slip, and then the real them comes out. Like you could fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. You just can't. And sooner or later, your own programming comes out, because people know how to act how it is that they want to act while they're trying to get what it is that they're trying to get. And then once they've become accustomed to it, once they become used to it, this is how these men go chasing these women, and then they still cheat on them. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Because who they are is who they are. That programming runs deep. And somebody told me once, nature always wins.
Absolutely. Something that I've noticed with my peers, I'm in my mid-20s, and I've noticed that women like myself, dark-skinned Black women, and it could even be dark-skinned Indian and Asian and Latinos also, but if you have that darker complexion, it's almost like our blinders are ripped off too early, and some of the preferences blinders come off later in life, because we get bombarded with the "you're ugly," dark, all the things that they have to say about us. We get bombarded with that at such a young age. I can remember hearing derogatory things about my skin color and my looks from an early age, like first grade and maybe even kindergarten. And I think it helps you in your developmental progression, that you never get caught up in a fairy tale. Like, no, I personally feel, and also I had explained earlier, I went through some things. It would be very difficult for a man to take me on a ride, on a fairy tale ride, because I remember human nature, and I remember what people's first inclination was to think of me before they were even fully mentally developed. It had already been ingrained in them that I was like a ugly untouchable. So even if a man was cashing out on me and treating me as the princess and the trophy and all of that, there's always going to be, I think, some skepticism in my mind to make sure that things are on the up and up. Where I do feel like the opposite experience, and anyone who's had that, call in, because I'd love to hear it from you first person. I feel like sometimes when you're the preference, you don't get called ugly or undesirable till, like, you don't get called that with words. They get called that with action. So they perceive that when the cheating happens and other forms of disrespect and abuse.
Okay. I wanna just jump in here, because no. I need to say this, right? Who is this person as a human being? What work have they done developing themselves? What is the great prize that they have to offer anyone? You, a preference, the queen of whomever. What do they really truly have to offer? What are they offering? What life are they offering? What perks are they offering? What are they offering as a human being? Who are they? And the type of person who would look at another human being and denigrate them, and then turn around to another person and say, oh, well, you're worthy of not being denigrated. I mean, you still denigrate human beings. Like I showed you all that video about these white women who they had to pass a law in Virginia because these white women were beating so many Black babies to death.
Yep, I saw that video. I watched it, and it took my breath away, because these are our so-called allies.
Right, exactly. And if you have white women in your life, I want you to send that video to them and see what they say. See whether or not they downplay the video or they have empathy, whether they can full-throatedly disparage those actions or not. What I want us to think about is that wherever you go, there you are. And these people who are treating people a certain like these white women were beating so many Black babies to death. Think about the mentality of a person who would even beat dogs to death. Like, these people are psychotic. Like, who would beat any living creature to death? Who? Yet you see a living, breathing being, even if you don't think that that being is human, and that you would take blows to that human, and you see that the human is helpless, and you would beat this human until they are no longer alive. What's going on with you as a human being? So what I'm saying to you is, the same men who would denigrate you and talk down about you and your looks, and then go and be like, oh, Miss Preference, you're so great. Here's this carrot. Here's all this. What type of human being is he offering her? He ain't offering what? What is he really offering at the end of the day? He's offering a person who is broken. He's broken with you and he's broken with her. It just takes longer for the mask to slip when they have a vested interest in trying to hold it up, because she's just a prop to him for other men. They want to they want to impress other men with the type of woman that they can secure. So yeah. So thank you so much for calling in. It's time for our dance break. So make sure that you get your movement on, okay?
I will. Thank you, Tonya. Bye-bye.
All right. So listen, so people are asking, where's that video? The video is on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my YouTube. It's called, what's the name of the video? Because I showed it to you all in the beginning of this video. There's 2 videos that I want you all. So this is one of them right here. The video is called White Women Have Always Benefited from Black Women Being Held Down. And I spelled out white women and black women, unlike these sites want us to do, because I felt that it was important for you all to watch. And then the other video that you need to watch is this one that says, White Man Tells the Truth to Asian Man at Dinner. And he asks him why he voted for Trump. And the man gives the realest answer. The video has over 150,000 views. Go watch it. Go watch it. Because these people are finally coming out and telling the truth about how they truly feel. How they truly feel deep in their hearts. So let us go ahead and get our dance music up. And then I'm going to open back up the phone lines for a few more phone calls. And then we're going to go from there. Let's see, this one is called Icy Cold. All right, let's go ahead and get our movement on. Get up out your seat. All right, you don't have to have the best move. All you gotta do is just move a little bit. All right, good job. So if you did that, you did 3 minutes of movement, which is all right with me. Let's check some of these apples. All right. So Ultimate sends in 333 and says, self-love is the key to success. I know that's right, absolutely. And then Ann sends in $5 and says, do we know if she has formally filed charges? I don't know because I don't even know who she is. I'm just coming across her content for the first time. I'm hoping that charges were filed. She went to the hospital and she had the children checked. I think that there is a duty to report because what hospital is gonna let her out of there without making a report? So a hospital checks a child for sexual assault, finds out that the child was sexually assaulted. So do they say, all right, bye, have a good day? No, something is gonna happen. The hospital has a duty to report. So I'm gonna open up the phone lines for a few more phone calls, and then we're going to go from there. All right. If you want your comment read on the air, the Cash App is there. If you want to work on some internal issues that you may be having, this right here is my website, TonyaTKO.com. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see an event that's coming up in 26 days, 12 hours, and 29 seconds. If you click on the picture, it'll take you to a page that talks about the New Self event that is coming up in December. This is for you if you know that you have some programming that you want to change, right? You want to change some of the programming that you have so you're ready, and the page is there for you to read and to get to the bottom of what you may be going through. And you can read it. Everything is there on the page. It's very well written out, and you can get, I have one ticket left. So I'm going to be promoting that ticket tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. But if there's somebody who is on here right now who feels called to it, then it may be for you, and you can look into it. So I'm going to open back up the phones for a few more phone calls. If you're interested, just go to the page. The link is also in the description of this video, and I will post the link here in the comments of the video. So there you go, right there. All right, so the telephone line is open, 323-488-3149. I'm 46 weeks, loved each other back in the day. 46 weeks
Hello?
pregnant. You're in Your Life with Tonya TKO. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Trinata. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Hey, Trinata from Houston. So talk to us. What's your comment about this evening?
I'm sorry, I had gotten off the show and called back. Can you tell me what the last, statement or comment was made? What statement you guys are on right now?
No, we're still talking about the woman whose husband touched her 2- and 4-year-old daughters.
Okay, well, I had called in earlier, so I guess I was just going to make a comment about, because I write in often in the comments about 60% of black girls and young women in this country being victims of inappropriate sexual experiences before the age of 16. And I think that's a huge number. And I myself have never met a black woman that hasn't had the same experience, to include myself. And I just feel like there's never really anybody diving deep into this subject about this inappropriate touching and how I don't want to, I guess I'm like the rest of my community, because I was here, my family members always want to point the finger at white people and say, that's white people shit. I mean, stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's happening grossly in our community.
Yeah.
And it's happening with our fathers, our brothers, our uncles, and our first cousins. Like, everybody wants to call these people rednecks and they blame them for doing stuff with their first cousins. And it's huge. And I actually teared up. I had to, pull back and cry. I couldn't even get to this video. But I was also kind of in disagreement with you as far as saying Like, we're not allowed to be angry at this mother or point the finger at her. From my own experience, when you have a child, you know when something is awry with your child because you had this person, you know them from head
Okay.
to toe. You know
So
their
so
first
let's
breath.
let's
You know everything
let's
about them. Can I
hold
finish,
on.
please, sir?
No,
Because I
no,
just want to say
no,
this.
no, no,
I
no.
believe, I
You
just
want
read
you
this.
want to
I
play that
believe.
game with me? I said no. There's no monologues up here. One of the rules for the phone calls is that when I ask you to pause, pause. If you want to go on a monologue, you can just go ahead, get your recorder out, make your monologue and post it yourself. So let me just say this, right? To anybody who has a particular feeling about the actions that somebody else are doing, and we are judging those feelings, we are judging those people harshly. We need to look at ourselves because these things do not exist in a vacuum. And I want us to please pay attention because while we're talking about them and their patterns, we are ignoring the fact that us talking about them is our pattern. The same way in which we beat ourselves up, in which we are cruel to ourselves, we extend that out to other people. So when we have a person who is the product, who was brought into this life by rape, was conditioned into rape, was raped as a child, raped as an adult, over and over and over again, there are things that are happening inside the person's mind, right? That is part of the pattern playing out. That's the pattern playing out before us. And so you having your feeling about how you know what is this and you know about this and et cetera, that's your pattern playing out in the same way that you hard on yourself. I should have known this. I should have, I'm not. No, there is no way, there is no way that we come into this life without making mistakes. Because it's one of two things, right? Either she offered her child up for this abuse and then she too is culpable, or she made a mistake. Which one is it? And then if she did offer this child up and we have proof of that, because there were people who were saying that there are people who are saying that R. Kelly, that the parents sold the kids to R. Kelly. Okay, so then let's arrest the parents and arrest R. Kelly because the children are the innocent ones. If we have proof, so if you can provide proof that any of those parents sold their children to R. Kelly, then let's also get the parents arrested. There's no let Robert Sylvester Kelly get off because the parents participated in some activities. No, these are adults buying and selling children. All of the adults involved need to be held accountable. R. Kelly, the parents, every single person. Because those children never had a chance if the parents were selling them too. So what is it that we're implying? Are we implying that this mother offered up her children? Are we? And if that's the case, please provide proof of that and let's also get her arrested. Because what else is it that we're doing? What else are we doing here? So it's like we can come down hard on whoever it is that we choose. We can come down on whoever it is that we choose, but please understand that that's part of your pattern, that there's something going on inside of you. Phone lines are open for the next caller, and let's follow the rules of the show. If I ask you to please stop speaking, I need you to please stop speaking. This is the show that I'm curating, and there's no big long monologues on here when there's information that needs to be interjected. So 323-488-3149. Who would think a man would do this to his own children? And this was supposedly a church man too. It's like part of the issue is that we live in these patriarchies. And there was somebody who called in that said that this behavior is not uncommon. In these patriarchies, we are constantly teaching men that they could have whatever the hell it is that they want, that they could do whatever it is that they want to whomever. Consequences be damned. And these men are not participating in, by and large, the data shows that these men were not they themselves abused. that they feel that they have dominion over the body and life of other people, so that they act out their sick fantasies on unsuspecting people, on helpless people, on children and people who trust them. This is unbelievable. 323-488-3149. And listen, everyone is entitled to their own thoughts and feelings, but please just understand, in the same way that you talk about this woman is the same way I know that you talk about yourself. And where in your life can you find empathy for yourself? Where in your life can you forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made? Because anybody who says that they lived a life without mistakes is an effing liar. You're lying. There is absolutely no way possible that you came into this life and made no mistakes. None? All right. You knew everything coming out of the womb. There's nothing left for you to learn. So you're just here on this earth to do what? To just go around passing judgment on other people because you are immaculate? Come on, stop this. Stop this. All right, so I'm if there's one last person who wants to call in, by all means, phone line is open, and then we'll go from there. So Gio is saying, seeing that this woman is a victim, how would she even be able to acknowledge the signs? And so, listen, there are different types of victims out there. There are some victims that become hyper vigilant, and they're like always looking, they don't trust, and they're just always on the lookout, their neck is on a swivel. There are those type of victims. And then there are other type of victims who are not wanting to identify with the victimhood, and they're trying to push themselves so far away from it that sometimes they even ignore the signs, because they are in such great denial themselves that even sometimes their own mind fragments. And so look, here's a person that is saying exactly what it is that I said. Y2K is saying that being a victim made them hypervigilant. This is exactly what I'm saying. And there's like a 20-second delay between what I say and what people hear. So this person was coming up with this comment. Oh, let's see. I guess as I was saying it, before I was saying it, because she hasn't even heard my statement yet. And then she's going to hear it now in about 20 seconds. So nonetheless, let me check on some of these other platforms. Let me check on TikTok. Hey, Yana, how are you doing? Hey, Ava, how are you doing? Let me check over here on IG. And so we have a bunch of people on IG. Beautiful, Croquette, Proverbs. Absolutely. So welcome in. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to be getting out of here because I think I've said all that I needed to say. We're going to get the self-love lessons right now. So go ahead and start getting ready to type your self-love. Oh, there's a call coming in. You're on the air live with, hold on. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is BB, and I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Hey, BB from Brooklyn. Talk to me. You're the last call of the night. What's your comment?
Hi, it has to do with the amount of people who have been through sexual trauma is shocking.
Is it?
I once worked at a psychotherapy clinic, and when just reviewing files, and they had like a color-coded flag on files that dealt with sexual trauma, and when I looked at them, I had to go back and ask, everybody that has this color code has sexual abuse in their past, and it's more people than not.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the Black community. So there's a certain type of trauma that comes with being in war. And many of us in our neighborhoods are at war.
I'm also a veteran, so we also have some issues with that too. But
well, you know what? For you, it's on both sides. You're a veteran, so you've been in war, or you've been deployed.
I am a war veteran, but I also agree with that in terms of growing up and within your neighborhood.
Right.
If it's color.
So then,
colorism.
yeah, so then
There's so much.
for you it's trifold, because on the one hand, just the army, just the military training itself is traumatizing. There's a hypermasculinity, there's a conformity, there's an imposing force that is getting you all to subvert your own needs, desires, wishes, to become compliant to a larger, more compelling force, which is traumatizing to the human spirit. And so being occupied in that way is traumatizing. And there's some other things I'm still reading on military trauma that comes from that type of programming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
there's trauma from being at war. And then when you take that and you supplant that onto our community, you can see that many of us are experiencing war trauma in our own neighborhoods. This is what my final paper from my critical theory of trauma class is going to be on.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But the issue of what I was saying in terms of just having access to, when I say so many, I don't mean just thousands, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. And when you look and see the amount, I mean, most of those people, it could be male, it could be female. Most of those people were victimized or, exposed to different things as children. And quite frankly, what happens in the military, a lot of that gets swept under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
You're treated as if, you're a snitch. You're not a victim, or you're not somebody who's standing up against being victimized. It's easier to go upside somebody's head. I heard you say that you don't like violence. Whew, sometimes you can look and say, okay, I don't want, maybe it has to do with making choices at certain times. And that's what can give you the knowledge that it's just really time to go if it's a relationship.
Yeah. I'm going to.
You don't want to become violent, and you don't want to be victimized by some form of violence.
Exactly. I'm going to tell you what I read in my class on war. Okay? All right. Okay. In military training, soldiers are taught to suppress their vulnerability. They're forced into conformity. The hyper masculine is the ideal. You are taught in the military training to redefine masculinity, and war can bring to surface and unearth your early programming that comes up and teaches you that weakness, that any form or show of emotion, of weakness, of all of that is bad, that you are lesser than, that they reject passivity, they reject that they see as feminine or passive. In the military, let me tell you, is this my final page on it? Go ahead, here it is. There were 26,000, this was in 2012, there were 26,000 servicemen who were victims of, there were 26,000 sexual assaults in 2012 that were reported. 53% of them were male. So what the training does is it teaches you to hate softness. And in this hatred of softness, men go out and attack other men. They get into violent confrontations with them. And then they attempt to rip away a man's masculinity. By then, the ultimate show of domination is by raping him. So in the military, here, let's continue going forward. Being vulnerable, helpless are things that are looked down upon. That if you are a soldier, you are taught that you must be in control and never show weakness. And then as a result, violence against men ensues because no one wants to be the weaker one. So now you have to prove your strength by a show of force on another man. And these things don't get reported because nobody wants to be the one. like you said, you don't want to snitch because is that even is that celebrated or is that frowned upon? So go ahead. What are your thoughts on what it is that I just said?
The first thing that we are taught when you go into training is actually self-aid and buddy care, how to partner with somebody. So if we came in together, they might partner us. Sorry about that, Alon. You partner and make your beds together, and you clean your lockers and things like that. And then later on, they train you on how to sustain your own life and your partner's life, and then the greater community's life. It's a lot more about self-defense, to tell you the truth. But then there's other stuff that, quite frankly, is not part of the training. There are certain things, if it's guys, I'm not aware of guys being sexually abused. It's the women that get sexually abused. It wasn't allowed during my time. So those guys really, they dip off. There's usually some club that they could try to creep at. There was a place called Brotherly Love. And one place that I was stationed at.
Yeah, but hold on. Brotherly love sounds like a place that people go for consensual interactions. I'm talking about forcible penetration.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not aware of.
Okay, which branch of the
they would be more likely to be unalive.
Which branch of the military?
If it's that kind of situation.
Which branch?
My branch?
No, which branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Air Force active duty, and then the National Guard was Army.
Okay. So you're saying that in the National Guard, you all were taught about self-defense and buddy systems. Unfortunately, from what the data is showing from the military at large, that the training is toxic and traumatic to many people who go through it. And I'm happy I'm happy that wherever you went through it, that it wasn't like that. I'm happy that you had a better experience.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's 100% like that. And in fact, in terms of what is training and what actually happens sometimes differs. I'm saying that in my time, in the places that I've been and what I've been exposed to, something could be happening and I may not be aware of it. If guys back then were, I don't know exactly all of, the laws right now in terms of homosexuality, but back then.
How long ago?
It can't be known.
How long ago was that?
Oh, this was a couple of decades. This was decades ago.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what?
Ago.
Thank you so much for giving your point of view. It all matters. Thank you.
May I add one bit to it?
Oh, okay. Please do. Let's hurry.
It's not just sexual. Some of the things that people would come at you with might be a lot of it was racist. A lot of it, even in terms of coming from the north, coming from New York City, just going to some place like Virginia. There were a lot of places, people maybe from like North Carolina or whatever. There was some bitterness and certain things that went on. It wasn't just all sexual, but then there was sort of a guy's thing. It wasn't part of the training. It can't be part of the training. But they do things, they say things outside of training that goes on.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for adding your piece to the conversation. Have a great day.
You're welcome. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Let's go ahead and give our self-love lessons that we learned from this day's broadcast. So I want you to type SLL, and I want you to type out your self-love lesson from the point of view of what it is that you learned from the positive affirmative. We don't want to talk about what we don't want. We want to talk about what we do want. All right? All right, so here. I'm looking for the comments. All right. So when you type SLL, like I said, there's a little bit of a delay.
Beber un poco para tratar de borrarte de mi mente. Una noche
All right. I guess there's a longer delay. He's still got legions. I don't even know what that means, who we're talking about right now. Okay, so Monica, her self-love lesson is give myself grace. I love that. Yes. Give yourself grace. So Red, what is the self-love lesson that you learned? SLL for self-love lesson. Okay, self-love lesson, practice gratitude. Okay, Peered says, have grace and empathy on myself in the mistakes that I make. Absolutely. Absolutely. I put my oxygen mask on first. I love that. I am creating safe, loving relationships in my life. I love that. I love that. All right, let's see the self-love lessons. That we must prefer ourselves, love ourselves, protect ourselves, educate ourselves, self-preservation first. Yes, absolutely. 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 Focus on rest. Yes. I will show empathy for others. Yes. Nothing more important than my safety and my loved ones. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. My self-love lesson from today's video, my self-love lesson is about making sure that I move and practice movement even when I'm feeling down, because when I started this video, I was feeling down and I got up and I moved. And one of my self-love lessons is about moving and doing that. Another one of my self-love lessons is about realizing that when I feel the temptation on the inside to project something outward, to look within myself to see where that's coming from. Self-love lesson, I matter. I protect myself and those who are vulnerable. To find happiness in my journey of singleness. To try to live life accepting where I'm at. I forgive myself for making mistakes. These are all beautiful self-love lessons. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So we are going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all so much for coming out. All right.